Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Nike Kyrie Flytrap 3. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Kyrie Flytrap 2 features the exact same traction pattern as the Flytrap 3, and what you're going to get is this like multi-directional, almost herringbone-like traction pattern with these two pods, one in the forefoot and one in the heel. And yeah, you know, the traction on here was pretty good. It did require a little bit of break-in time, but after the break-in time, I would say the traction was pretty good. Like, you don't stop on a dime. You may stop on a dime sometimes, but you also may slide just a little bit to a stop. So that was how the traction worked on clean courts. On dusty courts, you do have to wipe, otherwise you may have some slip-ups here and there. For me, I did slip up a couple times on those dustier courts, but you know, just make sure you wipe and you guys should be fine. The traction definitely isn't the best, but it's definitely not terrible either. And this version does feature like this black outsole, and black rubber from Nike usually doesn't perform as well as other colors, so maybe the other colors perform better, I'm not sure. But my experience with the traction on this shoe was pretty good. Could have been a lot better, but it still got the job done. And for those of you that are wondering, the rubber is really hard, so if you want to use these outdoors, which I'm pretty sure they're made for that, you guys should be fine. Moving on to the cushion, the Kyrie Flytrap 3 may as well feature no cushion because the cushion on here is freaking terrible. If you guys like responsiveness and court feel, this has definitely got you covered because the cushion in here is absolutely hard as a rock. You do get very, very, very little compression, but honestly, it's nothing. You can see that there are lines in the foam, but it still feels really, really hard. Yeah, definitely not the best if you're looking for impact protection. If you want to feel really quick, then yeah, sure, go for it. Personally, I like a little bit more impact protection in my shoes. And there is actually a 4-foot zoom unit right here, and can't really feel that either, so may as well not even put zoom in here at all. So the cushion for me was a no-go. I really don't like the cushion in the Flytrap 3. So moving on to the materials, the Kyrie Flytrap 3 features a textile mesh or some kind of mesh. It's very, very flimsy feeling, very budget feeling. It's definitely not the best, but for the price point, I can't really complain. It is very thin though, so I don't think it's gonna last very long if you fall or something like that onto the shoe. So just keep that in mind. As you move towards the back of the shoe, you do have this like synthetic leather panel, and it feels very, very cheap as well. Definitely not the most premium feeling shoe. Like, even the inside of the shoe, the lining doesn't feel great at all either. So overall, very, very budget feeling materials, and for the price point, you get what you pay for because this is a budget shoe, and it definitely shows. Moving on to the fit, I would say these run true to size, but for slightly wide footers to hella wide footers, you're gonna wanna go up a half size because these things run really, really narrow. Yeah, if going up a half size still isn't like comfortable, I would say just stay away from the shoe altogether because this is very narrow. As a slightly wide footer, I did have like some pressure like in the forefoot area, and it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Overall, the rest of the fit though, you know, it is pretty nice. It does fit very nicely over your foot. I would say there is just a slight little dead space up in the toe box area right here, kind of where the tongue meets like the underlay of the materials. But other than that, I would say that the fit is pretty good. Just if you guys are slightly wide footers to hella wide footers, definitely go up a half size or stay away from the Flytrap 3. Moving on to the support, I'd say the support on the shoe is actually pretty good. You do have like an internal heel counter, and you do have a strap which kind of does nothing, but the overall fit of the shoe combined with the heel counter, you know, I didn't have any heel slippage. I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed as well, which is actually really nice. And you know, even though this doesn't have like an outrigger or anything because it does feature like the curved outsole, I never had feelings of like my foot was gonna roll over or just slide out of the footbed. So I think lateral movements, you're covered. Linear movements, you got you covered as well. I'm not sure if there's a torsion plate inside of the shoe. Probably not because it's a budget model, but I can't really like twist it too much anyways. So as far as torsional rigidity and stability goes, I think you're covered. Even though this is a budget shoe, I'd say overall the support is actually pretty good. The Kyrie Flytrap 3 retails for 80 bucks, and 80 bucks you definitely get what you pay for. Don't expect a high-end, very nice feeling shoe. This is definitely not that. Personally, if I were to buy this, I would buy it for an outdoor shoe because I could just beat these up and I wouldn't feel bad about it because it is pretty damn cheap. But if you guys are, using this as your season-long shoe, or you want a nice, great performer, if you guys don't mind really rock hard cushion and you don't mind the really cheap materials, then sure, go for it, but I'd say for a little bit more money, you could definitely get a performer that just outshines this shoe by a lot. Just in terms of the cushion and the traction and materials, pretty much everything, honestly. Just spend a little bit more money and you could get a great performer. But for me personally, I would use these as my outdoor beaters, and I wouldn't feel bad if anything happened to these. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. Also, while you're at it, smash that like button for me, as it really does help me out. Also, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.